Staying with our breaking story, Union Minister for Rural Development Gopinath Munde has been injured seriously in a road accident in the national capital. He was on his way to the Delhi airport to take a flight to Maharashtra, where he was to address a rally in Bid. He has been admitted to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences Trauma Center in South Delhi, where he is being treated for his injuries. Now, the specific nature of his injuries is not known at this time, but the information that we have, in fact, is that Munde is on a ventilator. It was after a head-on collision with a bigger car. The injuries were earlier thought to be not serious, but the accident happened near the Moti Bagh flyover, which is in South Delhi, en route from central Delhi to Delhi's international airport. Munde was scheduled to take a flight to Maharashtra, like we've been reporting, to address a political rally in Bid. He has been admitted to the AIIMS Trauma Center, where he is on a ventilator.
Well, our colleague Aditi Ananthanarayanan joins us from the capital for more. Aditi, any details whatsoever at this point in time on the nature of injuries that the minister might have suffered?
Rishika, what we're getting to know is Gopinath Munde has suffered some critical injuries on his head and his chest. So his head and his chest was impacted the most when another big car collided with his car. In fact, what we're also learning that probably he might have broken a bone or two even in his leg. And this is the latest that we are getting in, that he has suffered serious injuries on his head and his chest because there was a head-on collision with the other car. And Gopinath Munde, while he was being shifted, he seemed to be okay, but just at the time when he was entering the AIIMS Trauma Center, his situation was, the doctor said that his situation was critical. In fact, now he's been put on a ventilator. He's kept under observation because now the doctors claim that his condition could be very, very serious than what we were reporting earlier today morning. So these are the latest developments that we are getting to know. But however, we are not still confirmed whether which was the other car which banged into him, whether any other people along with Gopinath Munde have also been admitted at the trauma center. But this has been confirmed that Gopinath Munde, he is suffering from serious injuries. Doctors are saying that his condition might be critical if he continues to remain this way and if he continues to not respond to the doctors at this point of time, Shiv.
Aditi, we understand that Gopinath Munde's senior colleagues in the cabinet and the BJP, Nitin Gadkari and Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan, are also on their way to AIIMS as we speak, or have they already reached? Do we have any information on that?
Yes, Shiv, they're just on the way. In fact, the first call that had gone after Gopinath Munde met with an accident went to Mr. Nitin Gadkari. He is claimed to be a close aide with Gopinath Munde because both of them hail from Maharashtra. In fact, Dr. Harshvardhan was also contacted as soon as Gopinath Munde was transferred to the AIIMS Trauma Center. In fact, both the cabinet ministers are now on their way. Dr. Harshvardhan might be just about to reach the AIIMS Trauma Center. Even he said that he will also have a look at the reports as to what kind of injuries Gopinath Munde is suffering from, and then a further decision will be taken about what to do with his medical condition.
This is very serious, Aditi. Initially it was believed that the injuries may not have been so serious, but that was when the details of the hospital had not emerged. You're reporting now that Gopinath Munde, Minister for Rural Development, has suffered multiple injuries to his head and to his chest. He's currently on a ventilator under critical observation by doctors at the AIIMS Trauma Center. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan and Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari are currently at the hospital. Gopinath Munde's family, who are of course based in Mumbai, have left for Delhi. They're en route to Delhi even as we speak. Remember, like Rishika and I have been bringing you this story, this accident apparently happened at about 6:30 this morning. It was early flight that the cabinet minister was scheduled to take to Mumbai, after which he was scheduled to address a political rally in Maharashtra's Bid district. We understand that Gopinath Munde is on a ventilator right now, and we are hoping to hear from doctors in a short while, perhaps get some kind of a bulletin on the precise nature of the injuries that he's suffered. Aditi, are we expecting to hear from doctors at AIIMS anytime soon?
In fact, at this point of time, Shiv, the doctors at the trauma center are saying that they want to wait for some time before they can actually send out an official medical bulletin. However, they are saying that probably in the next 1 or 2 hours, they will send out an official bulletin, because even now they are trying to gauge what sort of injuries Gopinath Munde is suffering from. It is a little early for even the doctors to send out an official message to the media. They are saying that we should wait for the next 1 or 2 hours so that they will also have an entire checkup of Gopinath Munde, after which probably by 11 we can expect the first medical bulletin shift.
Right, so by 11 o'clock, Aditi is reporting that we will have some clarity on the medical condition of Gopinath Munde. The doctors treating him at AIIMS are expected to give a medical bulletin at 11 o'clock, when there will be official word on what the minister's condition is. But what we're learning at this point in time, that contrary to initial reports that said that the nature of injuries is perhaps not that serious, at this point in time we're learning that multiple injuries to the head and chest of Gopinath Munde have in fact been reported. His colleagues from the cabinet, Dr. Harshvardhan and Nitin Gadkari, are in fact present at the AIIMS hospital at this point in time, where Gopinath Munde is being treated. Also, what we're learning at this point in time is that his family from Mumbai is making their way to Delhi as we speak. This incident, remember, happened at 6:30 in the morning, Shiv, which would explain the head-on collision with that bigger car, because you know, a little later than that, it is the streets of Delhi, especially the Moti Bagh area in South Delhi, where this incident has been reported from. The streets of Delhi are quite jam-packed with traffic because it is rush hour on a weekday. It's Tuesday today, but 6:30 in the morning, relatively freer streets, so that would explain the head-on collision. The nature, of course, of this collision at this point in time is not known. We do not know, Shiv, at this point in time, who was actually in that car and whether this may have perhaps any larger security implications at this point in time.
We will be getting word from 3 different places, which we will be looking for very specifically, and we will get them to you first here this morning. A, from the police, B, from Gopinath Munde's own office and his security, and C, of course, from the government on what really may have happened. Has a case been filed? Was this a car coming on the wrong way? Living in the national capital, we can tell you that there are several parts of the city where in the early hours and in the late hours, cars do frequently travel on the wrong side of the lane of the road, in complete contravention to traffic rules. You know, there is information. We haven't gotten confirmation of this just yet, but there is more information coming in on Gopinath Munde's condition. I want to get you, the viewer, across to our National Affairs editor Javed Ansari, who's also with us on the phone line for a quick live update on this. Javed, anything more we're hearing about Minister Munde's condition? Javed?
Been moved to the trauma center and to the ICU. He's on a ventilator. His condition is serious, and that senior ministers have rushed there. The doctors are there. They are attending to him, and right now he's in a pretty precarious condition. The doctors are not allowing anybody inside. So all that we know is word coming out from people who are stepping out. He is in a serious condition.
So he is in a serious condition. His family has left from Mumbai, and we also would like to appeal to supporters and relatives and family members to not believe any rumors if they hear anything at this point of time, because we're bringing you the facts as we get them from our reporters and from official sources. What we have confirmed so far is that Gopinath Munde is in the intensive care unit of the AIIMS Trauma Center, where he is on a ventilator under very close observation by a team of doctors. The Rural Development Minister has been visited by Nitin Gadkari, his cabinet colleague, also Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan, who are there currently at the AIIMS Trauma Center. Whether he will be shifted out of the AIIMS Trauma Center to the Safdarjung Hospital, which is right across the road, is not known at this time. We will get you an update on that. But like Rishika was just telling you, it happened at about 6:30 this morning. It was a head-on collision with a larger vehicle. Whether it was a car or a truck is not known at this time. But Gopinath Munde has suffered serious injuries to his chest and his head, and he is under treatment at the AIIMS Trauma Center at this point of time. Dr. Harshvardhan and other BJP leaders trickling in at the AIIMS Trauma Center for a full update on the condition of a person considered to be Maharashtra's comeback man, the current cabinet minister for rural development, Gopinath Munde. He is the brother-in-law of the late Pramod Mahajan, also former union minister in the earlier NDA government. Gopinath Munde is brother-in-law of Pramod Mahajan and a man known to be on the rise as far as the NDA is concerned. In his first stint as a cabinet minister, he's suffered these very serious injuries and he is at the AIIMS Trauma Center with head and chest injuries. He's in the ICU. He's on a ventilator. Supporters likely to collect outside the AIIMS Trauma Center is what we're hearing from our reporters on the latest condition of Gopinath Munde.
Also, Shiv, in fact, the minister was in the news very recently in the light of the questions that were raised on his educational qualifications. If you recall that story just a couple of days ago, the affidavit that he had filed with the Election Commission had some discrepancy. So the minister was in fact in the news over that controversy. But what we're being told at this point in time, more news that's just trickling in, is that the driver of the Indica car has been taken into custody. So that was perhaps the car that had in fact rammed into the minister's car, and the update that we're getting as far as his health condition at this point in time is that there has been immense blood loss. Remember earlier at this point, earlier in the day, we were reporting that the nature of injuries is perhaps not that serious, but as we're getting in more information from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, we can tell you that the minister has in fact suffered multiple head injuries and injuries to his chest. There has been immense blood loss, and it was in fact an Indica car that had rammed into the minister's car at the Moti Bagh flyover in the national capital. The minister was making his way to Mumbai, we're being told, where he was supposed to be travelling to Beat to hold a victory rally. So unfortunate news coming in early this morning of Gopinath Munde, Rural Development Minister, who has in fact met with quite a terrible accident, what we're learning at this point in time, while he was making his way to the airport. The family members of the minister who do not live in Delhi are in fact making their way from Mumbai to Delhi as we speak. These are initial reports that we're getting. Sketchy details at this point in time, but the driver of the Indica car that had in fact rammed into the minister's car has in fact been taken into custody. Immense blood loss has been reported. Also multiple injuries to the head and chest of the minister have been reported, and we're also learning at this point in time from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences that Munde in fact has been put on a ventilator after a head-on collision with that Indica
Well, these are live
car.
pictures that we're getting to you from right outside the AIIMS Trauma Center in South Delhi, where Gopinath Munde has been admitted. As you can see, there's media, there's police who've collected outside, anticipating perhaps collections of large numbers of supporters who may arrive. Remember, Gopinath Munde is Cabinet Minister for Rural Development. There could be some traffic trouble as well. This is not an open area. It's fairly congested area in South Delhi en route to the airport on the Ring Road. Well, that person on your screen was Nitin Jain. He is our network colleague from our sister channel Aaj Tak, who's already there, and we're getting information from him and our other reporters on the ground from right outside the AIIMS Trauma Center. Aditi Anantananan is already there as well, and she will be bringing us a report in just a couple of minutes from now. The area, as you can see, has already been barricaded up. This is the All India Institute of Medical Sciences Trauma Center, the principal emergency facility in the national capital, and certainly the closest one to where this accident took place at the Moti Bagh area, just about 3 or 4 kilometers from where these pictures are coming to you live. In South Delhi, very
also,
close.
Shiv, what we're learning at this point in time is that Cabinet Minister Anant Kumar has also in fact reached the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Also his colleagues Nitin Gadkari and Dr. Harsh Vardhan are already there at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences Trauma Center, where we're learning that the minister is in fact being treated at this point in time. We're also expecting the doctors at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences to issue an official medical bulletin at 11 a.m. which is when there will be more clarity on the condition of the minister. But contrary to initial reports that suggested that there were minor injuries, it is now being reported that the minister... Okay, we have some breaking news in fact coming in, that we're learning that the minister has in fact suffered a cardiac arrest during treatment. So that really, Shiv, is grave news coming in at this point in time. Minister not responding very well to treatment. In fact, what we're learning is that he suffered a cardiac arrest, so that really now further points to the fact that his condition is in fact reportedly very serious. The minister, we're being told, has suffered a cardiac arrest while he was being treated for injuries that he suffered during that road accident. That's the latest update that we're getting in from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. We have reporters fanned out at the site of the accident and reporters at AIIMS who are trying to gather in as much information that they can from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences Trauma Center. And also at this point in time, we'd like to tell our viewers that Dr. Harshvardhan, Nitin Gadkari and Anant Kumar in fact have already reached the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. More supporters are likely to gather, and the situation of the Rural Development Minister is reported to be very grave at this point in time. We're learning, the latest coming in is that Gopinath Munde has in fact suffered a cardiac arrest during treatment. So he has suffered injuries to his head and chest during that car accident, and while he was being rushed to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences Trauma Center, we're also learning that he has in fact suffered a cardiac arrest during treatment. We will of course be getting in more information on the condition of the minister shortly. In a short while from now, we're expecting the doctors at AIIMS to in fact throw more light, perhaps give us more clarity on what the condition of the minister is. We're expecting the doctors at AIIMS to be issuing a medical bulletin to the media shortly, but Anant Kumar and Nitin Gadkari and Dr. Harshvardhan already present at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. We're being told that other senior leaders and cabinet ministers are likely to make their way to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Gopinath Munde's family has already left from Mumbai and are in fact reaching the hospital.
Virendra Singh Gunavat is with us live from Mumbai. Let's go straight across to him. Aditi is also in Delhi tracking the story. She in fact is on her way to the AIIMS Trauma Center and will be getting us the very latest in just a couple of moments from now. Viren, we understand Gopinath Munde's family is leaving for Delhi as soon as possible. What's the latest?
At around 7 o'clock, the family has left for the airport. Just few seconds back, Poonam Mahajan, another winning candidate of BJP, she has left for the airport. The family, Pankaja Munde and the wife of Gopinath Munde and few others have left for the airport, and they might be reaching Delhi by around 10 o'clock.
All right, so they will be reaching Delhi in about a little over an hour from now. Aditi is also with us. Aditi is also with us. Aditi, Gopinath Munde has suffered a heart attack. His situation is apparently extremely serious at this point of time. What's the latest that you can give us? It's totally critical. He's in the ICU.
Absolutely. In fact, Shiv, what we're getting to learn from the sources inside the trauma center is that the situation of Gopinath Munde doesn't seem to be very good. In fact, his situation has been deteriorating ever since he was admitted at the trauma center. What we are also learning is that while he was being treated by the doctors, while he was being treated at the AIIMS Trauma Center, he suffered a major cardiac arrest. The doctors are trying to revive him, and the latest what we're getting to learn is Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari is just coming out of the trauma center. He will be talking to the media and giving us the official report as to what exactly is happening inside AIIMS Trauma Center. But one thing is very clear, Shiv, that Gopinath Munde's situation doesn't seem to be very bright at this point of time.
Right, we're fearing the worst. We're fearing the worst, Aditi, at this point of time. Confirmation not in just yet, but we're fearing the worst. Unconfirmed reports still coming in. We're waiting for the categorical confirmation on the condition of Union Minister Gopinath Munde at this point of time. There are reports coming in of the worst, but we will wait till we bring you a confirmation on this. Gopinath Munde has suffered very, very serious injuries. He has also suffered a heart attack that has left him in the intensive care unit of the AIIMS Trauma Center. We're fearing the worst. Our reporters bringing us information that doctors fearing the worst as far as Union Minister for Rural Development Gopinath Munde is concerned. This is an accident that happened at 6:30 this morning in Moti Bagh in South Delhi while the minister was en route to the Indira Gandhi International Airport to take a flight to Mumbai, from where he was to go to Bid in Maharashtra to address a political rally. An Indica car apparently on the wrong side smashed into the minister's convoy, hitting his vehicle and dealing very, very severe injuries to the minister who was in that particular vehicle that was rammed. There were injuries to others as well. He was rushed immediately to the AIIMS Trauma Center, just about 4 to 5 kilometers from where the accident actually took place. Fearing the worst, the information that we're getting right now, the latest confirmation that we're getting right now is that this was a huge head-on collision. Gopinath Munde in critical condition is the latest that we have right now. There are other pieces of information that are filtering in about doctors fearing the worst, but we will bring that to you once we get that from our own reporters here on Headlines today. This is very, very serious for the family of Gopinath Munde, of course, who've already left for Delhi. They left at about 7 this morning. Also, Poonam Mahajan, daughter of the late Pramod Mahajan, who is the brother-in-law of Gopinath Munde, has also left. She's a member of parliament. She has left for Delhi as well. In just a short while from now, we'll get you more information on this big breaking story.